Wanna play? Careful what you ask for.
Hello everyone, welcome to another StarCraft 2 cast. I'm Ian Valentino, and this is a game between the blue Zerg in the bottom left of Xel'Naga Caverns, MotM. And on the top right, the purple Protoss is TheForgotten. And this is being played on Xel'Naga Caverns for the Nebraska Esports Association StarCraft 2 Open. This was a LAN tournament, double elimination, so they're face-to-face. They're playing to stay in the game because they are both in the loser's bracket. And if either of them loses this best of one, they will be out of this tournament for good and not have a chance at that $100 first-place prize. And they are playing on those computers provided by QuickTech Computers at quicktech.net. Check them out. They're doing some custom-built computers that are shipping all over, starting that up very soon, but on their website, so keep checking quicktech.net with a Q, QuickTech with a Q on the end instead of a CH. But this is on Xel'Naga Caverns, MLG Xel'Naga Caverns actually. They do have that supply depot at the bottom of the ramp, so there's going to be no Protoss shenanigans, and there wouldn't be Protoss shenanigans in this game either because it is a ZVT. MotM not doing anything yet. He is at 14 supply, so we're going to probably see that standard 15 expand that you usually see against Terran players. So we'll have to wait till he gets maxed up to 15 supply to see if he does that. TheForgotten doing an interesting style of wall-off, having the two supply depots on the left and the barracks on the right. That is actually a pretty decent wall-off. You can have an add-on right here, and possibly might not get spotted by anything running up the ramp, but it probably still would. So I don't know what the benefit of this is, but it's probably just his style. He's going to build a second barracks now. Going to get up that pressure, and he's going to get some gas now starting. So he'll probably be going for some sort of tech other than Marines in the near future. And he is starting to build that first Marine. Now, we are not seeing an early expand out of MotM. We're going to see gas and spawning pool going down and around the same time. Spawning pool is going to finish, so no early speedlings, no early expand either, so I'm not sure what his goal is at the moment. He might decide to do some sort of roach play. This does look like quite a roach build so far, but we'll have to find out. His Overlord's starting to make it across the map. Probably will be able to get picked off by if he has a big enough Marine force, since he does have two barracks now up in this interesting sort of wall-off. He does have those two Marines chilling out. Nothing really revealing from him right now. He is starting to gather up the gas. He could put down some add-ons, but I guess he's looking for those Marines out first. He's going to now put down a factory as soon as he hits 100 gas, so we might see some sort of rush coming up, some sort of tech rush, especially against Zerg. We might see some Hellions, or we may see some medevacs, some Marine drops out of those medevacs. Overlord now coming. No, he's going to stop short. Good decision. Doesn't want to get picked off by this group of Marines. And MotM going to just build a few Zerglings so far. Still not expanding. Getting close to supply. And what is he going to do with this Roach? He's going to start scouting. He's not. It looked like he was going to start building something. So does this one. What is he going to build? He has plenty of minerals unless he's waiting for gas. He's going to build that roach warren, so I was right, he's going for some roaches. It's not quite a roach rush, it's kind of just, looks like he's winging it at this point. Doesn't seem like a very build order-like play. He seems like he's just winging it this time, which could be effective, you never know. Playing it by ear, if you're good enough to do that, then you are definitely the better player. You always want to be playing it as it goes, but he is opting for a lot of early Zerglings, even before his expansion. He is getting that metabolic boost, creep tumors, so he's spraying that creep, he's getting up that hatchery, getting up the roach warren, but back here we see the starport now coming up. Might see some Cloak Banshees even. He is getting up that second refinery, so it is very much a possibility for him to be going for that cloak. It would be a little bit of a cheesy play, but we'll see if he throws down a... Yes, he does have a tech lab here, so he might be exchanging these two buildings here and getting that cloak and those banshees. That would be very interesting to see how that would go. But he's now going to build an armory, so I'm very confused. Is he going for a Thor rush, perhaps? He just seems to be throwing down a lot of tech. Both players seem to be doing an interesting, very mineral-shy build. Wow, at 7 minutes, having all this different tech by the Forgotten. Very interesting. He's going to see that there's no expansion, so he is going to be very much encouraged to... saturate this natural expansion. These speedlings now, they just got their upgrade, are going to be able to poke in, but they might be waiting for some roach buddies to pop out. They are spawning in right now. More overlords, another queen, so he's going to get a queen down here ready to spawn some additional larvae, transferring some drones. Actually, he has not transferred drones. He just built a few more and sent them down. A few more roaches coming out. Now getting Gileo Reconstruction, an upgrade I don't typically see in my casting against Heron. Wow, look at all these Marines. I would really suggest for MotM to be going for some Banelings. He still doesn't have a Baneling nest, and you really always need that against Terran players. A Viking now coming out, very interesting, as well as some more Marines, Viking and Marines. Still no upgrades coming out of this. Now building a Thor. I was correct. He is rushing for that Thor. Very, very interesting rush strategy. He does have quite a few Marines, so it could work out for him. He is barely ahead in supply, but MotM is supply block waiting for a single Overlord, but he just started it, so he's going to be very, very much behind, especially with this Thor coming out. Could end the game, but it's not so good against Zerglings. So this early Thor play I really disagree with in ZVT. But he does have these Marines, so very interesting play. This Viking, I'm not seeing the point of it at this point. He might want to be picking off some Overlords, perhaps, but he could be doing that with Marines as well. So I'm not exactly sure what that is for. Just have this Zergling force still sitting out here, not doing anything. He still doesn't have that Baneling nest up that he really needs against this Marine force. This is very, very inadequate play by both of them. Thor is out, so wow, I don't know what he's expecting, but there's no spire. There is a lair up, but no spire yet. Gileo Reconstruction is done. No upgrades for either player. Medevac now popping out. Might want to do a small drop in the back with this Viking. Maybe you want to do a Thor drop that could do quite a bit of damage back here, since all of the forces from MotM are at the front of the Forgotten. So any type of drop would substantially affect the game. Evolution Chamber now finishing, so we can get a singular upgrade. Let's see how quickly he decides to do that. Just some more. Wow, really just going MMT, Marine, Medevac, Thor. Interesting play. Tech Lab now finally coming up on this barracks. So yes, he has not had a Tech Lab on a barracks the entire game, so he's finally going to be able to get Stem Pack or that Combat Shield upgrade, depending on what his preference is. Definitely Stem Pack makes the most sense, especially with these Medevacs overhead, but both are really necessary, so I'm not sure what he'll be planning to do out of that. Building a second Thor now, so that'll definitely help against these roaches, and wow, this is just a weird game so far. We're at 10 minutes and neither player are even close to maxing out. So usually if you're left alone, and on 2 base especially, you want to be maxed out by around 16 minutes. If you're being left alone, you really should be maxed out at that time, no matter what tech you're going for, and MotM is just way behind that. You really should have better saturation, better macro at this point. At least from my testing. That's not really a fact that you should be maxed out at that point, but from my experiences, 16 minutes is a pretty good benchmark. If you're being left alone, you could easily max out at that time on whatever tech you prefer. He could go for an additional geyser, but he's going to go with that primarily roach play still. And he's really behind on his larva spawns, sending more roaches, but that's not going to be very good against the dual Thor. Here comes a move out. There is no upgrades for these Marines. Not a single one. There are no upgrades for these Thors. And is he going to see this at all? No, he's not. Is it going to be pure luck that he catches this? Yes, he's going to catch it right now. And this is going to be 2 armies not on a move. So, oh my gosh, this is just really terrible to see play. Burrow now coming out for MotM, as well as an infestation pit. Command center finally being built, as well as another Thor. So this interesting play. I'm still not understanding the Vikings. Probably a lack of scouting scared him into doing that, but these Thors are doing quite a bit of damage from the back here. They're doing so much damage. These roaches are getting torn apart by these Thors that are not taking any damage. So these these roaches are going to be easily dispatched, and I think that the Forgotten is going to roll here and continue through. I should see a GG coming out very shortly. MotM is just so far behind, just because he had 2 bases and still could not out macro a 1 base teching Terran. It's just very sad to see. Another Thor pops out even. Might want to get him down there into the fray. Should have brought some SCVs along to repair these Thors, especially because of the lack of Marines that he now has. But he is going to use these Vikings to pick off an Overlord, perhaps. There goes one Overlord. Queen going to be dispatched quite quickly by these dual Thors, doing so much damage, and here should be the GG very shortly out of MotM, because he is so far behind. And there it is, the GG, and we will see how the Forgotten does in the next round of the Nebraska Esports Association StarCraft 2 Open. This is being played in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we will see what happens in the next video, so stay tuned on the channel and we'll keep you up to date. Stay tuned.